Hello everybody and welcome to another Ogrecast. I am Ogre. I will be your host for this game of StarCraft 2 between KillerB, the Red Zerg, and Fainov, the Russian chess player Blue Zerg. Well, um, I kind of picture him as a Russian chess player, but I think all Russian names kind of sound like chess players, so I guess that's why I jumped to that conclusion. He's gonna send down a real early drone scout here into Killer Bee's base, and just spots that spawning pool going down at 13. I guess that was. I guess I can slow that down. Just a times two. I like to go a little fast at the beginnings. Now, I guess I didn't mention, but Killer Bee is a friend of mine, and he is ranked about 1650 in Diamond. So, decently high level game. These guys should know what they're doing. We got this, Fainov's got his drone pumping away at that spawning pool. Don't think he's actually going to take it down, but he has done about 150 damage to that thing, so definitely got a lot of shots off there. No big deal. I mean, it'll heal back up before anything happens, I'm sure. But, oh, it looks like he's going for an early spine crawler. Taking a little while for Killer B to respond. He does have a queen in production, so I guess he's hoping that queen pops out pretty fast here. We got the drone, well, he has spotted it. He's got one drone attacking this thing, but yeah, he spawns some larvae there with the queen, and then, yeah, attacks it. Has to get cancelled, and the drone scout finally does die. Fainov has his expansion going down. Not super fast. I think that was on 18, which is a common time for the expand to go, especially with that new Team Liquid Overpool build. Yeah, if he's doing that, then I guess he's just got his queen coming out now. So it's not exactly right. Now, one thing that I noticed is that he had a roach warren going down there. I'm just going to take a look and make sure that the first thing is... Yeah, it was a roach warren going down. And take a look at the units lost tab. He cancels it, and it counts as 150 resources worth of units lost. And then, I don't know, he puts it down again. But really, you only lose 10% of the building cost when you cancel a building. So I'm not sure what that's about, that units lost is counting at 100% of the building cost. So that's going to actually throw off those stats. Something to remember. I just noticed that this game. Anyway, no big deal, I suppose. Just a little bit of a funny quirk. We got a little Zergling scout going down here. Killer Bee's going to spot him running on his way down. And Killer Bee actually sets up some Zerglings here on the ramp. Sets them to hold position. And... yeah, you can see it highlighted when I click on the unit. So, looks like Fainov is going to lose that Zergling. There's two more Zerglings out here. Going to get surrounded and killed. And so Killer Bee gets to take out 3 Zerglings at the loss of 0 Zerglings. We'll take a look at the production tab now. We have Metabolic Boost. That is Zergling Speed finishing for Fainov now. Yeah, and looks like Killer Bee already has Zergling speed. Yep, there's the wings on the Zerglings. Decent amount of Zerglings. Like, if we look at the army tab, it's 600 to 425. So Fainov's just pumping out some units now. He's got his roaches. 5 roaches, very common thing to get out once you're... Oh, there's a 6th. Once your roach warren's done. We got some banelings morphing in for Killer Bee. No lair yet, so Baneling speed is not going to be researched anytime soon. But Baneling's not the best thing against roaches. All Killer Bee had scouted up to this point were Zerglings, but it looks like that if that one Baneling can hit these Zerglings, yeah, takes out 3 Zerglings with one Baneling. Just busts about 5 Banelings on that one queen. Banelings do not do a whole lot of damage to queens. So, but we do have one Baneling here, and these roaches are in a bad position. 3 roaches go down. This one here takes significant damage. So, we'll take a look at the units lost tab. Actually, I mean, it hasn't been too lopsided. Well, yeah, it's starting to get... I mean, 475 units lost, or resources lost in difference, and probably an equal amount of gas, because there were about 6 banelings that died there, and 6 or 7 roaches went down. So yeah, it looks like nobody's really pulling ahead of the other person right now. More zerglings come in here. They're going to have a tough time taking down that many roaches, especially with their back to the hatchery. But they can run up here and take out this queen. It gets desperation spawn larva out, which is a good move. Right before that queen goes down. These roaches are having an awful tough time. You want to have 3 roaches there blocking off that ramp to prevent exactly this. The zerglings getting up into the drone line and taking out a couple of drones. They weren't even fighting, they were trying to move, but they were blocked, or surrounded by the zerglings, so they couldn't get out. Looks like, yeah, some of those drones are pretty low on health. Get a good surround with zerglings here. Gonna take out another queen, but these queens are getting the spawn larva off, which is the most important thing for Fainov. Now he has a significant force of roaches that he's gonna want to push out with. But decent amount of speedlings coming up here for KillerB. The roaches in a great position, cannot get surrounded. Oh, they do pull out a little bit. Looks like these zerglings are going to get into the drone line. Those roaches pick off all of the speedlings down at the bottom of the ramp. Another queen goes down. These zerglings are keeping the drones from mining. We'll take a look at the... Oh, I was going to say, take a look at the health. Yeah, those drones are still in pretty good health. Zerglings kind of get bunched up here, can't do too much damage to the roach warren, and the drones can get back to mining, but there's significant mining time lost. Another queen going to go down, but it did get its spawn larva off again. Really good management by Fainov to get those down, the spawn larva, right as the queen gets out. And if we take a look at the units tab, we have 24 drones versus 23, 12 zerglings against 9 roaches. Fainov is doing a really good job of holding off this harass and staying right in this game. We do not have a queen for KillerB on this base or this base, so he's only got 1 queen spawning larvae, and 314 minerals saved up. He's got a roach warren coming out, so I guess maybe he's saving up minerals to get out as many roaches as possible. And now a bunch of speedlings again massing up. It's just not an overwhelming number of speedlings quite yet. These roaches are getting positioned on the ramp so that nothing can run past them, hopefully, which he should have done a long time ago. But it does actually leave this hatchery a little bit more vulnerable. A decent amount of roaches, though, at this hatchery to defend it, and if they get their back to the hatchery, they're not going to get us around and going to do a good job holding off speedlings. And looks like KillerB is getting some more banelings out. I mean, it's not a horrible idea, because if these roaches are getting bunched up, the banelings can do significant damage just by virtue of the amount. Oh no, he's right-clicked on the middle roach. These zerglings are doing no damage, running around in circles, but they do distract the roaches with enough time to give the banelings a chance to take out a few drones. Taking a look at the units lost tab, the resources are just about dead even, so all these trades have actually gone slightly in Fainov's favor, and he is pushing out with a large force of roaches. And if we take a look at the army tab now, KillerB only has 200 minerals worth of army. He is going to need something to happen here if these roaches get anywhere near his base anytime soon. He did scout that they are moving out, so there is going... Oh, he did produce 675 minerals worth of roaches, and he has a spine crawler up, another spine crawler going down here, queen being brought down to help out with the fight. And is it going to be enough? Like, there are just a lot of roaches here. Taking a look at the army tab, 1075 versus 675 minerals, and basically an equal number of gas, equal ratio of gas, I should say, and no target firing going on for KillerB against these roaches. So this is probably it's going in Fainov's favor. Look at all the roaches coming out, but unfortunately for him, in the production tab, we see 5 roaches coming out, or 8 roaches coming out for KillerB, only 5 coming out for Fainov. KillerB is in a position to reinforce very quickly. Fainov has to run all the way across, and he GG's out seeing that his roaches are going to die and quits the game. Um, I just I mean, I didn't think it was so lopsided that he had to GG out there. It's only 31 drones to 24. 7 drone advantage for Killer B. Same amount of roaches. And, basically the same amount of Zerglings. So if I don't know. Like, Fainov had 438 minerals, 112 gas. Could have got out 4 more roaches right there, or he could have droned up significantly. Killer B was not in a position to move out. He only had 6 roaches left. No queens on these hatcheries, although, I mean, he did have the benefit of the, 3 to 4 extra larvae coming out. But I mean, his minerals were pretty much spent. This was really still an even game, so I found that it was a good example of how ZvZ games go. Fainov felt like he was really, really far behind, but in fact, I mean, he could have pumped out 7 drones, and basically had exactly the same amount of units as Killer B did. So, yeah, just so all you Zerg players know, like, just because you feel like you've been losing the whole game, it because of the larva cost of such heavy aggression by Killer B, he actually wasn't super far ahead. He couldn't keep droning up, so it wasn't like it was vastly in his favor. He did have more tech. He did have his missile attacks being upgraded. Like, his lair was already out. So yeah, Fainov was behind, but definitely not far enough to quit the game. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it, and that's it for this one.